What is up today, everybody? Today we have the 2018 Lexus LS. As the flagship sedan for Lexus, Lexus didn't just want to put out any other luxury sedan, kind of like they have been doing. They want to do something special, so they started fresh. They almost wanted to relaunch the brand all over again, as this is the flagship sedan. They went with a human-focused approach, and they wanted to exceed expectations of global luxury customers. Welcome to Prime Autotainment. I do reviews every single week. Let's take a look at this 2018 Lexus LS 500 F Sport. So some big news with this 2018 Lexus LS is that it's on an all-new platform, which means it's lower, it's longer, it has a heck of a presence. They wanted some room comfort of a 3-box sedan, but with the coupe-like silhouette that you'll see here on this 2018 Lexus LS. And it really stands out. It makes quite a presence. It's a really big car. It doesn't really look that big when you first look at it, but when you're up close, the hood and the front end of this thing is just massive. The 2018 Lexus LS is highly customizable. There are so many features that you can get, including stuff in the back seat, massaging seats, different screens, audio systems. But we have the LS 500 F Sport, the F Sport package, meaning we get some sportier features. Let's go ahead and check everything out. No matter which LS you go for, the F Sport or the executive package, whatever, you will have the same powertrain across the board. Starting from scratch with this 3.5 liter V6, no longer is there a V8. They have a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo. The twin turbos were actually built in-house, and that's all new for the LS. That'll put out 416 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque that comes out at 1600 RPM. And all LS models will also get their 10-speed direct shift transmission that is definitely smooth. We'll do some more driving impressions in a little bit. The LS can sprint from 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. Not too bad for a big heavy sedan that can weigh up to 5,000 pounds. And you can get all-wheel drive, which will give you a limited slip center differential. Now the surprising thing with this LS 500, especially this F Sport model, is that you get some dramatic improvements in driving dynamics and handling. It's on an all-new platform, which makes a big difference, shared with the LC Coupe, in fact, and that'll give us greater handling with the performance feel. You've got a stiffer chassis, which you can definitely feel in this car. It's got a very solid structure to it. Feels like such a well-built, crafted car. Another thing is we have a lower center of gravity. The engine is pushed back and lower, in fact, which makes a big difference on where the weight is in this car for balance. The passengers sit lower. Everything seems to be pretty well balanced. We'll do some more driving impressions in a little bit in the video. Now, when we go to take a look at the exterior of the LS, we get the triple projector LED headlights with cornering lamps. So when you put your blinker on, or when you actually go to turn the wheel, there will actually be light that just illuminates on the side of the vehicle that you're going to be turning. And these headlights do a really good job, brights, low beams, cornering, everything. It does really good. Plus you get the LED daytime running light, of course, that you get with Lexus, kind of the check mark with the little feathers coming out of it. It looks pretty unique, and it looks pretty appealing. The feel of this car is just great. You would not expect this thing to handle and perform the way that it does, considering how big it is and just being, based off of a luxury car. This F Sport gives us the special F Sport grille. It's black compared to the other grills on the non-F Sport models. Both models look attractive. It's definitely a bit of a polarizing design that most of you have kind of come to, either love or hate. But also with the F Sport is we get bigger brakes. We get 6-piston in the front, 4-piston in the rear, and the whole brake is bigger itself. We got 20-inch dark graphite wheels, which give you pretty big tires, 245 in the front, 275 in the back. Adding to the luxury, we've got automatic dimming mirrors on both sides as well, and that's always welcome when you're driving at night. Both of them power fold as well when you lock or unlock the vehicle. And to kind of round out the back end of the Lexus LS 500 is that they wanted to go with a coupe-like silhouette. And you can definitely see that with the sloping roofline. And another thing I didn't mention is the door handles actually light up at night, which looks pretty cool. It definitely gives it a nice presence when you're going to get into the vehicle. You can see, and it just looks nice on top of that. In the back, we've got LED tail lamps, LED turn signals, And then we've got a nice looking exhaust. Definitely a more conservative design in the rear of the Lexus, but I think it fits this vehicle just perfectly. As you could expect in a sedan like this, you've got a pretty good sized trunk. There's a little pad under here on your key fob or inside where it's a power trunk. You can also close by power with that button. You've actually got a real handle. You've got a nice light there. There's another light on the inside. I've had a couple golf bags in here and they fit just fine. You can get 16.9 cubic feet if you don't have a rear cooler, or 15.5 if you do. But there's a couple hooks. We've got the cargo net in here as well. I don't even have it being used right now. Lexus first aid kit. No folding the seats down, but the hinges are out of the way. Nice trunk overall. And then of course, push the button and there you go. Even the Lexus key fob feels premium, much different than other key fobs that I've had. It feels really substantial. You've got this nice metal trim on it. There's no remote start on the key fob, and it's complimentary for 1 year with the remote app. Otherwise, it's $8 a month after that. You can use it on an app, smartwatch, whatever. But I do like Lexus's system. As you can see, the mirrors are folded. Just slide your hand behind it. The mirror will open and flash. And if you want to lock it, you can just tap that little line right there and you're good to go. Now moving to the interior of the Lexus LS, this is where you can really tell where the money goes in this car. Everything on the inside feels really nice. There's actually 9 different interior trim options that you've got. In the F Sport here that we've got the circuit red seats. We've got 28-way power seats with climate control. You can control that all on the big screen. Everything works really well. These seats are super comfortable. They have an ultra suede lining. And if you really want to be comfortable up front, you can get a multi-massage function in a package, and you can get an available 24-inch head-up display that works in conjunction with the safety system. We don't have the head-up display in here. This is actually a little bit lower price compared to what the LS can get up to at about $95,900. Some other things that you get in here is, I really like with this F Sport package, we get the LFA inspired gauge, which shows you everything that you need: a G monitor, your MPGs, trip computer, audio, navigation, all that stuff, and you get the sliding ring. And it looks really cool when you change from Sport to Sport Plus, normal, custom, even comfort or eco mode. It just looks nice. And then moving over, we've got leather up on the dash. We've got stitching, visible stitching pretty much everywhere, covering up our 12.3-inch screen. And it works pretty well. You know, it's definitely clear. You can see a lot of information on there, split screen and whatnot. The only thing is, considering how nice everything else is in this car, the touchpad that you use with it is just, you know, I think it takes a little bit of time to learn it and get used to it. And I really don't mind using it, but compared to how nice this vehicle is in every other way, I would like to have something a little bit better, a little bit more intuitive and easy to use. Now, one thing that I definitely would recommend you getting if you're gonna get an LS is you've gotta opt for this Mark Levinson upgraded sound system, which is, it just sounds insane. It's very immersive. We've got 23 speakers, which gives you 2,400 watts of equivalent power. And there's even speakers in the ceiling. It's just very submersive, and it's just a very nice audio system. It sounds really good. Another thing on our 12.3-inch screen is, since we have a big car, it's nice to know that you have a panoramic view monitor. So you can have it on automatic when you get to a certain low speed, about 7 miles an hour or less, to come on. You can manually turn it on. You can see around the car. You can have a couple different views that you can do in conjunction with your backup camera. So that's nice to have. Make sure you're not going to get any scrapes on your wheels going around some turns or in some tight areas. Just below the big screen, we've got some nice, easy to use climate control buttons. We even have a volume knob with a tuning knob wrapped around it, which is really awesome. So you can control both just with a single knob, and everything feels really good. All the buttons are easy to use. You can control some on the screen. You can control the main climate control system down below that. We even have a CD player in here, so those of you that want a CD player, you can get it. Moving back from there, you get your shifter, which is a little bit unique. It's not an actual real movable shifter. It's not a turn dial or anything. You slide it over and move it up for reverse, or slide it over and move it down for drive, straight down for manual, and you actually push a button for park, which is, you know, something unique. Next to that, you've got a couple cup holders with the 12-volt power outlet, which they're on the smaller side, but they work fine. You've got controls for your air suspension, your rear sunshade, as well as controls to manage your climate for your seats. And then you've got a huge center console. It's big and red. It opens up on either side. It's nicely soft and softly lined inside. We've got a couple USB ports, auxiliary port, 12-volt power outlet, a little sliding tray as well. Just a really nice place. And then up above, we've got the traditional moonroof right now, but you can get a whole panoramic glass up there if you want the big panoramic option. So even in the back seat of the LS, it's an awesome place to be. We don't even have the best stuff in the back seat of this car, but let me tell you, it is so comfortable. These seats are so soft and so comfortable. We've got a really nice armrest, a big opening in the middle, and it's got 2 fast charging USB ports as well. And also on this armrest, we can control that rear window shade right there. And then if you don't have enough room with this front seat in front of you, well, first of all, you can move it forward and backwards with this button. We've got little pockets at the front or the back of this seat, the back of the driver's seat. We've got a 12-volt power outlet down below our air vents. We've even got air vents on the side. So there's an air vent right below where I have the camera, another air vent right here, a couple of them right in front of us. And then if you really want to, you can definitely kind of lounge back. These seats in this one don't recline, but you can use this button to push that seat out of the way and even fold it forward partway. So this is definitely a nice place to be. You've even got a couple speakers back here. We've got a little vanity light and mirror right here as well if you want to be checking yourself out. We've got wardrobe hooks, of course, and then even our grab handle is nice, soft leather. The only complaint is that even in our trim, we don't have the best of the best with the executive package or luxury package back here, but we don't have heated seats back here, which is like, I just don't get it. But if you really want to get the best of the best in this back seat, there's multiple packages that you can get that vary in price that will give you anywhere from 22 to 28-way power rear seats with butterfly headrests, memories, reclining seats, 4-zone climate control seats, multi-function massage seats, even a power side window sunshade instead of that rear window sunshade, and then your right rear power recliner with an ottoman and massager, of course, remote control of the front passenger seat that I showed you, and then you can get wood and leather trimmed rear center console with a 7-inch touchscreen to control every little bit of that. And then a real quick look at safety features. For the Lexus Safety System Plus, which is standard, you'll get pre-collision with pedestrian detection, all-speed dynamic radar cruise control, which does work pretty well with lane departure alert and lane keep assist, automatic high beams, and then optional for the advanced package. In addition to your pre-collision system, you'll have pedestrian alert, active steering assist, where if the brakes can't avoid a collision, the steering will try to prevent it, and then front lateral side pre-collision. In addition to radar cruise, you'll get lane trace assist, where it centers the vehicle in the lane, front cross traffic alert, and then road sign assist, which shows up on the head-up display. Now, more on the driving impressions. We do have the adaptive variable air suspension, which you can actually lift up and down. I'm gonna go through the different modes, the Sport, Sport Plus, Normal. Right now, we are in Normal mode. And traction control definitely hinders acceleration right there. But this car gets up and goes. It'll definitely scoot. With the turbo, it doesn't quite feel as traditional, obviously, as a naturally aspirated engine, but when you start to get that pull, it comes up real quick and it comes in low. So that is definitely nice for city driving. You don't have to really lay into the throttle much, but when you do lay into the throttle, it'll throw you back in your seat. And even in normal mode, it'll still hold the RPMs a decent amount. It kind of pays attention to how you're driving. Now, in a Lexus, of course, you expect some quietness, a nice serene cab. And I took some decibel ratings on 3 different road surfaces, and to be honest, they weren't as quiet as I was hoping. This is definitely still a quiet car, I'm not saying that at all, but just not quite to the level that I was expecting for this car. And I think maybe some of that has to do with the fact that we have the bigger wheels, different rubber, we have the adaptive variable air suspension, a little bit more performance minded instead of being quiet, but still a nice quiet cabin. I could actually tell when it was raining that it was quieter than normal. You know, when it was raining, it was actually kind of a peaceful rain instead of a loud rain on most cars. It's really loud inside. All right, now I've got it in Sport Plus, and let's get on it. and we get up to speed pretty quick. It's definitely got some nice pull, and that sounds pretty good. Now getting slowed down, oh, these brakes just grab, oh man, these brakes grab really well. Really impressed with the brakes, honestly. I haven't really had to get on them or tested them much, but dang, they slow you down. What do y'all think of that sound? I definitely wasn't expecting to get quite that much of a growl with this LS, so it definitely sounds pretty good. We even have a variable gear ratio with our steering wheel, and when I'm in Sport Plus, it actually has a pretty nice weight to it, and oh, you can hug the corners really well. It just feels very precise. Very precise. Definitely impressed for this car. Wow. You can definitely hug those corners. It's incredibly flat for being such a big car, and I definitely think our package here that we have with the air suspension makes a difference, the F-Sport package, all of that. Now, another option that you have for drive modes is comfort. You can have it in comfort, and it softens everything up. The steering seems to get a little bit lighter. Little bumps just seem to be just a little bit less irritating. And in terms of actual ride comfort, it's pretty good. It's very smooth. This car definitely, when you get going up to speed and when you are, going over some stuff, you really don't pay attention to it as much as you normally would. It dulls things out pretty well. It's a little more harsh than I was expecting, and I think, like I've said before, this kind of has a lot to do with the bigger wheels and the suspension that we have here. Overall, in my time with the LS, it's been a very nice car to drive. Obviously, I mean, this thing is a little under $100,000, so what do you expect? You've got to expect it to be nice. It wasn't quite as quiet as I was hoping for, but it does sound really nice when you get on it. It still is a quiet car. It's just not the expectations that I was hoping for. It's faster than I was expecting. That 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 does a good job of getting you going, but I had a car full of people in here once, and it honestly felt like it was slowing it down and lagging it a little bit. Now I just put it in sport mode. I'm going to use these paddles. All right. Still got some good acceleration, and more on that noise. I'm on a rougher textured road, and I'm sure you can hear that. It's not as quiet as I was hoping for, but upshifts were pretty quick, not super quick. Downshifts, there we go. All right. So these paddles are more fun than the average paddles. Obviously, they are even metal. They feel really nice. I haven't used the paddles a whole lot. I think the transmission just honestly does a better job, especially when you put it in Sport and Sport Plus. It'll hold its revs. And with 10 gears, it's a little bit different shifting through 10 gears, but obviously you're going to do most of the shifting in the lower gears. So I'm in third gear right now at 3,000 RPMs, and it wasn't letting me downshift. There it did. So I don't know what was up with that, but I just prefer to be in drive in a car like this. The transmission's supposed to do a good job anyways. Put it back in drive. I just, this car can be the luxury car that you want it to be, especially with some of the packages you can get, and it can be the sports car that you want it to be too. If you want to see a more performance-oriented car, I do have a review on the Lexus GSF, so please be sure to check that out. I've got 2 different videos, one of just a point of view drive and one full review. Check those out as well. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys for watching this video. Leave your comments down below. What do you think of this Lexus LS sedan? I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below for weekly videos, and we'll catch you guys next time.